Hello and welcome to another episode of the BashTalk podcast. It's been a while, a long while, and we're in a different venue. And this venue is going to take shape over the next few months, depending on how lazy I am. But enough about that. I do have a special guest today. It's Nelson's very own Waj Iqbal. Wajid, if I can ask you to just give us some few words about yourself, introduce yourself to the audience, please.
I'm Waj Iqbal, as you said. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm Waj Iqbal. A lot of you will know me. I'm Councillor Iqbal's brother, unfortunately. I've grown up in Nelson. I moved to Manchester for about 10 years, come back, because Nelson is Nelson.
Home is where the heart is, as they say.
That's it.
Now, we're going to cover quite a few different topics with you today. But one thing I ask every guest is, even if you want to go over it briefly or go into detail, is just talk a little bit about yourself or your Nelson roots, so to speak. Just a bit about yourself, just a bit of context, and then we'll go into the main issue that I think that few people already know about. So go ahead.
Nelson roots. Well, I was born in Yorkshire, Keighley. Huh? Moved to Nelson in 1979. Mm-hmm. At the age of 4, so you can work out how old I am.
Someone's going to do the maths.
Exactly. So obviously, grown up here, went to school here, college, and then uni, obviously, went to different places.
Yep.
Then worked local, then moved to Manchester, then come back. But,
okay. But you are, but now you are like settled in Nelson. You're not planning on moving away anytime soon, are you?
No, this is where, like you said, this is where the home.
Okay. So, the main issue at hand. So I want to set some context for the viewers. And I'd firstly, just want to obviously warn you, this could be regarded as a bit of a sensitive topic in regards to the greater context of it. But going back a number of years, there was an issue, or there was basically known as like a scandal involving kind of grooming and horrible behaviour throughout that affected a lot of young teenage girls in like the Greater Manchester area, Rochdale in particular, and Oldham was supposedly an area. Yeah. Rosendale area. Rotherham, yeah. So all this was going on, and at the time, people were getting caught and prosecuted for it, and the legal process was taking place. Now, somewhere along that process happening, a national newspaper decided to, without due diligence, claiming without due diligence, run a story accusing you of various nefarious activities. And I don't want to obviously take the thunder away from you, so if you can just give us a bit of context as to how on earth that happened, and what they accused you of, and then we'll kind of go into a full detail of it, because that was just crazy.
Yeah, I worked in local government for 25 years this month, and it's always been in licensing. Mm-hmm. So licensing covers taxis, pubs, clubs, takeaways, gambling premises, and all that. So first 12 years, I worked at Rochdale Council in licensing. Mm-hmm. That's when the grooming scandal happened. Yep. I left and I went to work at Leeds for a few years.
Yep.
Then from Leeds, I came to South Ribble, which is Leyland. And that's
still licensing.
Licensing. I've always done licensing because it's my speciality. So when I got to South Ribble, obviously questioned their processes and how things were being done, mm-hmm. and previous decisions. Then there was a couple of cases which I raised with my line manager and our licensing committee. Then all of a sudden something was going on in the background, and then one morning in January 2016, myself, my colleague and our service manager, we all got suspended. I came out of nowhere.
Okay.
So they were like, it transpired through the investigation. They were going through all case files prior to me starting there. So obviously, got through that. I was reinstated after a few months after the investigation, but then I was put on gardening leave because the investigation was still ongoing against my colleague. So a year's gardening leave, with no gardening to do. So then we were ready to go back, and then information was being leaked to the press, and they start putting two together and getting five because he's worked at Rochdale, he's part of it, and it's happened here as well. So without any notice, myself and my colleague, our contracts got terminated, and because Daily Mail was sniffing, because they'd rung me. I said I can't speak because when you work in local government, any press inquiries have to go through the press officer designated. So obviously they'd got wind of it, so they just terminated our contracts. Took them to tribunal. Obviously you win because it's a straightforward case. But then Daily Mail were running with the story, constantly hounding me, trying to get.
Can I just ask though, in the build up to you getting, well, before you even got on gardening leave, and you mentioned you'd kind of raised issues, did you ever get the vibe that something was off?
I didn't really get a vibe that it was off. It was just I didn't believe, because I thought you bringing up stuff that's historic. And prior to me arriving here, some of this stuff I've actually raised as to why this decision was made. But obviously you can't retry an old file, for example, taking a driver to a committee, because that's how the legal process works. Once somebody's tried, that's it. It's just like in court. If you take somebody to court, they get prosecuted, you can't take them back for the same offence.
That double jeopardy.
So so it was that, and I was like, this is all pre-made, so why am I being thrown in as part of it? Because I'm obviously raised the queries in relation to these, and my colleague had as well. So,
but the thing is, when the Daily Mail contacted you, because at that point you would have been like, I'm just a guy that's been suspended from a local government job. What are you ringing me for? Like, what's going on here? And at that point, had they mentioned anything about what the kind of story they were going to run, or were they just trying to get information out of you?
Yeah, in the initial conversation, he was just asking lots of questions, and I just said, no comment, you have to speak to the council press officer. I didn't think much of it, but I thought I've highlighted it to the council, let them deal with it. But I didn't think it would lead up to this, Then in May 2017, just before our contracts were terminated, I'd been on holiday with the missus, come back, and as soon as I turned my phone on, I had a message from the Daily Mail reporter saying, we're going to be running the story on Sunday. Didn't think much of it. I thought, what's there to run?
What could it possibly be? Just a few lines about employees on gardening leave,
Yeah. So I remember I was working elsewhere as a doorman back in the days, in my youthful days. I remember coming home on the Saturday night, early hours of Sunday morning. I just thought, just lying in bed, went on the phone, Daily Mail, let's just have a quick look, see if there is anything.
Yeah.
I think it was like third story down. See my picture. That's when it just went boom,
This is what
this is real. So obviously opened it up, read it, and I'm like, this is a total pack of lies what they've wrote.
If you don't mind me asking, what had they accused you of?
They'd accused me that whilst at Rochdale, I'd issued badges to the people that got convicted for grooming, and also here at South Ribble as well. There was some child grooming cases, but they were all pre me getting there. So he's part of it as well. So wherever he goes, there's grooming going on.
Oh,
so they call me the fixer. Because obviously a lot of people know me as the enforcer.
Yeah.
So these guys started calling me the fixer.
The fixer. Oh, God.
That because the groomers were Asian and Asian Pakistanis. He's Pakistani.
He's one of them.
He's one of them.
Oh,
So I was like, dude, it just like, I was in shock. But I thought, it's online.
yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, go sleep, wake up in the morning, go and get the newspaper, see how bad it really is. So I went to the local petrol station, which is local news agent as well, on Manchester Road. Got the paper, come back home, made myself a cup of tea.
Got the rusk cakes ready.
So I thought, right, put it on the breakfast table, newspaper, opened it up.
Yeah.
I think it was round about page 12, 13, double spread. That's when I thought,
Oh, wow.
this is big. This is very big.
Because it was obviously I'm not going to reveal too much because it's more for you to say, but it was like a proper picture of you, and they'd gone to like incorrect detail,
Yeah.
but they'd basically made like a full profile of you.
Well, that's it. And this picture that they'd taken, it was probably the worst picture they could pick from my social media. It's just like I'd been on a holiday. That picture was from a holiday with my kids, and
Yeah.
just a bit of a laughing joke with the kids, and they put that picture in. And I thought, damn, this is serious now. So, finished reading it. I couldn't even drink my tea. That's how bad it were. You just lost for words, and you think, this is something big now. And it's getting real. So that's when...
But the thing is, so you've read that, so you've sat on it and thought, like, is you've basically been hit for 10, basically. Like, I don't know what's going on here. But at that point, you must have been like, is this real? Like, what on earth is going on here? Like,
it was surreal because you're just thinking, I'm just a guy from Nelson.
Yeah.
And I'm on a national newspaper where
Being
people
accused.
see it internationally as well.
Yeah.
So I remember ringing my brother, sent him a picture, and I said, I'll make you aware of this. And then I spoke to my colleagues and Unison as well. And they were absolutely gobsmacked. They goes, don't worry, we've got your back. Yeah, we know everything isn't true.
Yeah, because they'll know this is stuff that's before your time.
Yeah. So it was like, what can I do? I need to clear my name.
Yeah, because part of the problem is that the people that you work with, and to say like the Unison, the union reps and everything, they'll know, like, hang on a second, because they're privy to that information. Whereas Tom, Dick, and Harry off the street, or even somebody who might have a grudge, and so forth, will be like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
what's all this about? He's made a national paper, because obviously there's generally like a view of like the Daily Mail. It's not necessarily a newspaper that I trust or like, but for some people that's their source of truth.
It is. And because I remember speaking to my younger brother, he's legally qualified. So I said, what can I do? Because obviously I need to clear my name.
Yeah.
So obviously he guided me through the initial part, saying it's defamation. So you have to put a case in against Daily Mail, but you're time limited to 12 months.
All right. Okay.
So he said it will take some time. It's not like an overnight thing.
And it's not cheap either.
It's certainly not cheap. But he said we need to find somebody who's going to take it on a no-win, no-fee. So trying to sell the case to solicitors, barristers, to take the case on a no-win, no-fee, is you're selling something to him.
Yeah.
You've got to pitch it right. So
How long did that take?
first 6 months.
6 months already.
First 6 months, I I was going through the barristers and they were just backwards and forwards. I wasn't getting an answer. And I thought half the time's gone. So I was getting desperate then.
But what kind of issues, like, what kind of responses were they giving you? Were they like, either we get back to you or just like...
Yeah, get back to you. Just wasting time it were.
Off, yeah.
And this like big firm in London. Because I tried a few others, but there was smaller firms and just a straight no. So I was like... I panicked. So I said to my younger brother, right, this is not my field. You know, you need to step in. Because he's in that field. So he said, all right, it's about time you asked me. You know, well, God bless him.
Yeah,
well, he was a godsend, the younger brother.
So I just want to set some context. So, article drops, 6 months, you've been basically fobbed off. Time wasted, basically, saying that, you know, come meet us in our office, whatever, but then they'll just waste your time. Then your brother says, right, I'm going to have to handle it from here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, next.
Yeah, so then I've passed it to him. He goes, right, I've got a few people in London that I know who deal with defamation cases. So he said the main one will go for him, called Mark Lewis.
That name rings a bell.
Yeah, he done the News of the Will cases.
Yes. Yeah, it's come up on Google, actually.
Yeah, so spoke to him, sent him an email, everything explaining. So he sent me an email back. Is it all right if I call you? I said, yeah, no problems. So I spoke to him, and the first thing he's asked me, where you from? I said, I'm from Nelson. Like, so you probably don't know where it is. You know, this is some high flyer in London. And he's like, no, I do know where it is, because I was from Bury.
Right.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought, we've got something in common here. So I'm not speaking to somebody who's been educated in Eton or Oxford or Cambridge as such.
Yeah,
somebody who's down to earth.
Yeah, someone's not looking down their nose at you.
Yeah. So he's like, just send me the files over. He goes, how many files have you got? I said, 2 Lever Arch files full. This is like over 1,000 pages. So he goes, right, send me everything over. I'll go through it. And then it's better if you and your brother come down to London to meet us, me and the barrister.
Yeah.
So send him the files. 2 weeks later, they'd invited us down to London. Went through everything. Took us about a couple of hours. Just explaining what had gone on. He goes, right, okay, leave it with us. Yeah, we'll get back to you. So, like, driving up, and I spoke to my brother. I said, what do you think? He goes, well, if he can't take it on, then we'll struggle. So, I think it was a day later, he rung me, Mark, and said, we're taking it on. I was just like ecstatic.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
He goes, look, you've been treated unfairly, and I've seen it in the file, seen it how you explained in person what's gone on, and it, you know, everything you've said, it backs up in the file.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, that's great. So he goes, right, first thing is we have to take insurance out to cover the no win, no fee, which I think was £30,000-40,000. So he goes, my firm will pay that. You're not paying nothing. He goes, you don't need to worry. Your job is focus on the case. He goes, we don't want any slip-ups between now up until the court date. So then I said to my younger brother, right, okay, let's play it like this. I'll put you on a retainer. Should I win, inshallah, you know. And I'll just focus on the case. Because I thought it's too much for me dealing with legal, dealing with a case. Because when you're going through over 1,000 pages, you don't want any slip-ups. Because the tiniest little mistake can cost you.
You can imagine some high-paid barrister represent, you know, the Daily Mail. They'll be on it.
They had a team of solicitors. I think it was 3 barristers and 2 QCs.
So, wow, that's a lot. But the question I've got is, so in the lead up to this, when did the Daily Mail know that you were actually going to pursue or go up against them? Because, I mean, initially the article would have come out. The reporter was hounding you beforehand anyway. So once the article came out, so he's obviously messaged before, was there anything from them afterwards?
No. I think after Mark took the case on, So he's preparing everything, the defence. You know, you have to submit it to court,
Yeah.
the papers that you're going to defend. So I think it was like a couple of months before, I think it was March 2018. Yeah, March 2018, because we had till May to get it in.
Yeah, that's tight. Yeah.
Yeah, so he got it in. So obviously now they knew that we were defending it. So it was like, right, the battle begins.
Right, got you.
You
Got
know.
you. Yeah.
The gloves are off. Let's see. But I knew deep down that I hadn't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
People around me, family, big brother, you know, they're all supporting me, friends, everybody, go for it, you know, because you've not done nothing wrong. Yeah. You've got all the evidence here. Yeah. The story made up by Daily Mail is a pack of lies. Yeah. During that, I mean, then obviously the 12 months were up and they knew they were on. So then it's like backwards and forwards, you know.
So did they make any concessions at all, or was it a case of we're going to see you in court, trying to call you bluff?
Yeah, that's what it was. It carried on for nearly a year, backwards and forwards. Right, what happened here? So I'm going through the files, making sure I'm bang on. You know, I was preparing the answers to their questions. Give it to my young brother. Right, you double check it before we send it. Then it goes to Mark. He'll double check it before he submits it. So it's like 2 or 3 pair of eyes checking. And they were like asking me again, are you 100% sure? I said, yep, I've gone through it. I've spent time on it, you know.
And you know, during this time, were you able to hold down a job, or did you have to go like do doors?
I was doing contract work.
Okay.
I lost 3 jobs because of the newspaper article. Because
That's bad.
they'd find out somehow a taxi driver was leaked it, or it was in the paper, so they terminate it because it's bad publicity for him.
Yeah.
So that's when I thought I need to go further afield where no one knows me. So I ended up working in Wrexham, which is Wales, because going to a different country.
I bet it is like that.
And absolutely nobody knew me there, and you know, they were great. So I did mention to the bosses, and one boss, I knew him from Rochdale days. He was there, he'd moved there. So obviously still bringing income in, you know, still got mouths to feed.
Yeah.
And you've got this case going on.
So you would have been sat in Wrexham and you're trying to earn a living, and you're going through all these case files. And
I was travelling to Wrexham every day.
Whoa.
There's 2 hours there and 3 hours back.
3 hours, but
and
then
90 miles each way.
And but then it's that thing, it's that commitment to obviously your family, and then wow, that's I don't know where do you even get the time to go through the case files?
It was just like coming, because like in the morning I'd leave 5:30 in the morning to go work. I'd get back 6, 7 o'clock, spend a few hours, then go to sleep. It was like that for a long while.
Oh, mashallah, I gotta give you credit for your perseverance with that. But then, and I think one thing you mentioned it before, and I think I want to just kind of re-emphasize it because I'm quite happy to hear it, is that you did mention you still had your friend support, family support, and everyone backing you, because you do sometimes, unfortunately, hear cases, not necessarily of a specific thing like this, but where in that area, you know, in around this topic, where people do get isolated because people will see what's in the paper.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, I better stay away from him. Whereas I think it's good that, you know, you've still kept a core.
Yeah, I mean, there were some people, and they know who they are, that they look down on you.
Ah, right.
And obviously, certain people like questioning. You know, they believe it.
I get you. But,
Rather than come and ask what's going on,
yeah.
this is what I call the sheep.
Ah, right.
They'll read the media and think that's it, the truth.
So they've opened the paper and thought, Eid's come early. Let's copy and frame it.
Yeah, and obviously with my big brother's background as well. So
Yeah.
you do get certain people from the opposition, it's like,
Yeah, yeah, of
we'll
course.
use this.
Yeah, I was as I say in the Asian, you know what I mean, saying bana lorna, you know what I mean, they're finding an excuse. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no. So sorry, I took you off your train of thought there. So you at this point, touring back from Wrexham, you're getting closer and closer to the court date. Daily Mail are hoping that they're going to call you bluff. Not going to happen. You guys are pressing on. So tell me about the lead up to getting actually turning up to court. And how did that go?
So in May 2019 now, I think it was June 2019, we went for the first court hearing at the High Court in London.
Right.
So our solicitor, barrister, went, we meet the judge, and their side comes as well, Daily Mail. So the judge will tell both parties how many days he's going to set aside for the hearing, and he'd set aside 8 days for the actual court hearing, which I thought...
Did you think that was enough or not enough?
Well, I thought it's going to drag on because it's witnesses and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like staying in London, I thought...
Not cheap.
That's not going to be cheap. And it's central London as well. So we said, we're going for it. No matter what it costs. You know, I've got to clear my name because it's affected me both emotionally, like career-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and family as well. So it's like, your respect. I want my respect back.
Yeah.
It's taken time to build it up, but it's gone like that.
So, and you would have had to, like, have a good persuasive chat with the witnesses as well, wouldn't you? So, look, I really need you to do this.
Yeah, I mean, the people who had my witnesses were the people who said to me, go and clear your name. We're with you 100%. So, obviously, we were preparing the paperwork, and then out of the blue, the penny dropped for Daily Mail.
So, like,
They thought,
yeah.
we're not going to win this, and this guy's not stopping.
Right.
Yeah. Because obviously I'd been through it, the whole case and the whole paperwork with a fine-tooth comb. I was finding errors in their paperwork that was coming through. And I thought, you've got QCs and barristers, you know. You shouldn't be making... There were tiny little mistakes, and I'm highlighting it to my lot, to my legal team. You're like, you know, you proper know what you're looking for. I said, yeah. I said, because obviously I did enforcement, so when you're looking for evidence, it's there if you want to find it. So obviously the penny dropped for him, and then there's like, can we sit down and
is it?
come to a settlement for out of court?
Right.
So brother said, right, okay. He goes, and he'd done his research as well. So we went in late August, early September of 2019. We were next to the Tower of London. Their solicitors, their officers were there. And our solicitor, Mark, had said, it's going to be a full day. They're going to grind you down. Yeah, come out with offers. But it's going to be big offers. So, like, my brother had said, look, you know, we've got a stated case here for $250,000 from, I think it was a Rotherham case against, I think it was UKIP.
So basically, there was like precedent. And,
yeah, so that's what you base your thingy off. So we went down. It was all paid for, hotel, everything. Stay in a fancy hotel. So full day in their offices. You know, they're throwing out everything at you, sandwiches and everything. We went for the initial meeting in the big offices. They'd brought their editor, everything, their legal team, all across. And there's about 5, 6 of us. So my solicitor told me, don't be intimidated. Because once we've had these introductions, we go into separate rooms then. There's a mediator in between.
Right.
She'll go from room to room. They come out with something. She'll bring it to us. We accept it, and it's going to be backwards and forwards. So we just sat in a room, and we were there all day till 8 o'clock at night.
So at this point, you're thinking, right, so you've already been warned, don't let them butter you up, and also don't let them grind you down. And then as the day is progressing, like, did they do what you thought they would do and try any of that stuff, or were they just...
They were trying it. They started off really, really low. Really low. And I thought, do you think I've come this far for that amount? It's not going to cover me solicitors, you know.
Yeah.
So by 8 o'clock, they just reached 6 figures.
They really dragged it out, didn't they?
They dragged it. So they thought, we'll throw the 6 figure at him, and just 100,000, just about reached it. So I spoke to my brother. I said, let's go outside, me and you, private chat. No solicitors around, just me and him. And he's like, I've got a stated case here. This is what they're offering. He goes, we could get more. I said, all right.
So he said that without skipping a beat, just like, no.
That's it. I put all this trust in him. And being a young brother as well. So obviously he was looking out for me. So we went back in. And I said to our solicitor, Mark, that it's a no. And he's like kind of shocked. He goes, well, it's big money. It's life-changing money. And then Madge, my young brother Madge, said, look, we can get more. He goes, but Waj needs to answer. I goes, well, my brother's answered. He's speaking on my behalf. So we left. Said, let's go. And the other side, obviously, Daily Mail lot was shocked, thinking, how dare he walk away?
I think
we fed him all this.
Yeah. Because one of the things I think I'm going to make a huge kind of assumption here, but I think if we put the factors in play, they're thinking this is a brown guy. He's from a working class ex-mill town, and he's come all the way, and he's already his employment situation is probably already not the best anyway.
Yeah.
We'll just throw, we'll get to the 6, and he'll take it.
Yeah.
They're already thinking, he'll just take it and go. But then that sounds like you really knocked him for 6 there.
Yeah, because I was driving back. Took us 5 hours getting back. I was stuck in traffic. And during that journey, we had a chat with my younger brother. And he's like, just leave him, let him sweat. Because the longer it's going on, the costs are increasing.
Yeah.
Solicitors and barristers aren't cheap, and they're QCs as well. So then a week later, Mark rung me and said, they've made a much improved offer at 175. He goes, but I've got to report this to the insurance. Because obviously they need to weigh whether they'll get more at court or if it's going to be similar, then the insurance will say, look, we're not taking the risk then.
Yeah.
So we've got to balance it out, you say, with the solicitors and the insurance who funded it all. So I said, all right. I said, give me 5 minutes, let me speak to your younger brother, and we'll come back. So
was one of them, like, you ring up, are you sat down?
Yeah. I can't remember what it was. I think it was abroad.
Oh, right.
So I said, he goes, you're ringing me. It's going to cost you a bomb. I said, well, it's all right. I said, we can afford this now. So I said, this is what they've come up with. He goes, what do you think? I said, I don't know. Well, you tell me.
Yeah.
I said, you're my advisor. So he goes, it's up to you. He goes, obviously, the legal team will be hesitant in declining it. So it's better, just take it. I said, all right then. So I remember ringing Mark up. I said, 175. I said, just tell him to round it off to 180. Yeah. I said, then they've got a deal.
Yeah, to be honest, I think, is it one of them where you thought, you know what, if I say 180, and then at least you feel like, you know what, I've negotiated it.
Yeah. Yeah. So he goes, all right, I'll just go back to them and see what they say.
Okay.
We're back in 2 minutes. They agreed. So I'm like, happy Larry.
Awesome.
So he goes, obviously, he goes, now we've agreed the money. He goes, now leave it to me. I need to get an apology out of him.
Oh, because then they have to do like a retraction.
Yeah.
Yes. That, but to be honest, that's the most important part, isn't it?
Well, it is. They've got to do it because they were just willing to print it on page 30 odd.
Buried.
Bottom. Yeah, that's it. Buried there. But he was like, no, I want him to come to court to apologise. I thought, wise move. Wise move. Because it's a big thing to get a national newspaper to come and apologise. But I think a few weeks went by and he goes, they're not willing. He goes, I've told them, keep the money, then we'll see in court. But when he said that to him, they said, all right, we'll apologise, at court and in the paper and online. So I said, all right, we're winning here. So then, I think it was January 2020, the court was the date was set. So we went. I took a couple of friends, missus, brother. It was like a full day out.
Yeah,
family day out. All expenses paid.
It's a day to celebrate, man.
Yeah. Well, we made them pay because it was all expenses. And so we said, right, we're staying in a nice hotel. It's all on Daily Mail. So at High Court, we went there, and the cheeky sods sent a junior clerk to come and read the apology.
That's sad on the junior clerk, man.
I know. I felt sorry for her to come and read this apology out. But they walked out and thought, we've won.
Because either way, there's a court transcript, say the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
Turned up and it's there for.
Well, that's it.
Record.
There was a press officer there, and apparently he has links to all the national newspapers and TV. And I remember coming out and he's like, just take your details, name, your contact number.
You're like, you're one press person I want to speak to.
Well, this is it. And I said, right. I said, you'll have to. This is my name. Well, that's my brother. I said, you'll have to take his details. He's going to deal with everything.
Awesome.
So then as we're driving back, we're all happy. And that's it. Phone calls coming in left, right and centre. At the Guardian newspaper, Asian Image. Asian Image?
Yeah, you must be.
Yorkshire one. There was quite a few then. Just non-stop Lancashire Telegraph. I'm like... Brother's like, right, get ready for this now.
Yeah.
He goes, this is celebrity status. I'm like, but I don't want it to be.
No, but it's a double-edged sword because if you get the publicity, it's kind of good because you want more people to know that you're not that guy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a headache.
It is a headache because it's just interview after interview then. And it's just repeating yourself.
Yeah.
So obviously... So I said, all right, just arrange it. Give me a couple of days. Let's get back. Chill out. Just let it sink in. What's going on, and then we'll do the interviews and everything.
So, did you have to put any conditions on, like the money? Or was it like, I want it all hand delivered in bags, and it has to be fibers? Anything like that?
Yeah. No, they're just done a bank transfer. So it looked good. Sat in the bank.
He wasn't just like, I'm going to the cash machine. It's like, looked at your balance, like, yeah.
I did, actually. So I remember I took the missus, and then I remember going to see my kids, who was in Manchester, who lived with my ex. And I remember showing my youngest son, who was 15, 16.
Yeah.
And I said, son, what is it you want? And he goes, oh, why? I said, don't worry, Daddy's looking after you. He goes, what do you mean? I said, we won the case. He was like, really happy. All the kids were happy. So I said, we're set for life, alhamdulillah, She goes, how much did you get? So I just remember opening me bank app. I said, I can't read. Can you just read that? And he's like, Dad!
Yeah.
He's like shouting to his brothers, come here, check this out. And they all come, and they're like all in shock, and
No,
I said, we got it. It's
Yeah.
like, I think during the court case, because my older lad was at Preston Uni, and because the picture had gone in, and he was getting a bit aggro.
I bet, yeah.
So it was, I said to him, look, we've had to go through it. It's not something that we brought on ourselves. It's just happened. But alhamdulillah, we got there. And that was it.
That sounds like
So I didn't really get much time to enjoy it. And then COVID hit
yeah, the
in
timing.
March.
Yeah. But the thing is like leading up to it, because obviously, I mean, everyone handles things in different ways. So, but like, it's regardless of who the person is, that's just a big stress. And that it must have taken a health impact or on you, or did you manage to just balance it out?
During that period when the court case and the suspension, I was at doctor's nearly every week.
So
It was getting me down.
like
Because,
low moods and
yeah, antidepressants. But it's just like trying to stay focused, because I thought, I don't want to be hooked on you guys, the pills,
yeah.
because that'll just take me proper down. And but alhamdulillah, everybody around me, missus, and my kids with me ex, big bro, little bro, mum, everybody just, and my mates, Bash and Tabs, there's an Abid, who you know.
Yes, I bet. Yeah.
Well, it's like strong around me, and a couple of the mates from work as well, on Doorside, G's and Hussey and Ronnie. They all knew the score, and they just kept me going.
The thing is, even though they knew the score, and even though they backed you, they still must have felt good to be able to say, look, I know you believed in me, but now, officially, you have to believe in me.
Well, that's it, yeah. And obviously, it's like the wider circle getting the message out. Because obviously, once we start doing the interviews on Geo News and Guardian newspapers, Northwest Tonight, BBC Radio Lancashire, 5 Live, everybody. So it's like been blasted out. So I thought, right, the people who are doubting me, I hope you're watching, listening to this, yeah, and reading it.
Yeah.
I
think one more thing is, I don't know if you've ever looked at it this way, but there is another way that you can look at this whole kind of incident and how it all came out, in the sense that you fought a national newspaper and won. You went through hell, but it's gonna really put the brakes on them and stop them from doing that again. So you, by virtue of going through that process, it may have helped other people and protected other people, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, because I was contacted by a few people on Twitter who were going through something similar. And there was a couple of groups as well, Islamophobic groups doing reports.
Well, yeah, there was, yeah.
And they said, are you willing to speak in a national forum online? And it's going to be broadcast on YouTube and other forums, media outlets. I said, yeah. I said, more than welcome. And when I spoke, I laid into the media people. And I listened to them first, and I said, but every time this happens, you guys will never change. I said, every time, say, a Pakistani guy does something wrong, you'll emphasise he's Pakistani, you'll emphasise his religion, he's Muslim, and then you'll mention his name. But I said, if it's a white person, you'll just say Joe Blogs. You're not going to say Christian, English. You're not going to say that.
Yeah.
I said, and like, whilst I was saying this, the people, commenting on the media outlets, like, well said, you're telling them how it is.
Yeah.
And I said, you're probably not even going to take these points on. It's all right nodding your head, but actually do it.
The thing is, because by you doing that, you're kind of speaking on behalf of a lot of people as well.
Yeah.
So whether they take it on or not, I think the word is cathartic. It's like a release for you, and there are thousands of other people that would have been tuned in.
Yeah, I mean, I've done quite a few of these where it is, you're basically targeting the Asians and Muslims. You're brushing us because of our skin colour and our religious beliefs.
Yeah.
And if I'm not going to speak up, then everything I've done, yeah, or I've won, but that's a personal gain. But I want to speak up and let everybody know that what you like, the likes of Daily Mail, you know, I know what type of newspaper it is, who it's run by,
Yep.
you know, the Zionists. And this is what their plan is. Just discredit the Pakistanis, well, not Pakistanis as much, but Muslims. Because you read the Daily Mail and you always see some article in there that's, I would call Islamophobic.
Oh yeah, there's a proper pattern of very, let's just say, just terrible articles. But then the Daily Mail already has this reputation.
Well, that's it. And the people they employ, like your Katie Hopkins, says it all,
Yeah.
you know, and Nigel Farage. These are the type of people they entertain because they know they will speak against Muslims.
And we're easy targets, easy pickings.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
In all fairness, obviously, it's not to say that, you know, the Muslim community is like completely guilt-free. Stuff happens, but stuff happens in every community.
That's it.
But we seem to be getting highlighted a bit more. It's almost like it's slop. It's just more reading material for their viewers.
Well, that's it.
Readers.
You'll have a minority in every background that's wrong. But when they look at Muslims as Pakistanis, the minority, they blow it out as though they're the majority. That every Pakistani is going to be like this. Every Muslim's going to be like this.
They've built it in such a way that they're creating consent so that someone can read these articles and they can build a profile of a person so that when they read the article, such as the one that you wrote about yourself, they're almost consenting to the content, saying, well, yeah, I agree with it. Yeah, it's got to be. He's brown. They're brown. According to the article, he was in the, you know, the licensing office around that time.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And then they didn't think that you'd be like, hang on a second, guys.
Well, listen
to.
Because I remember one of the things they put in that he drives a BMW X5, and I thought, at that time, it was an old one. Well, it cost $4,000. But a person reading, oh, he's driving a BMW X5, they'll have an image of a brand new one.
Yeah.
But they won't put what sort of reg is and how much it's worth.
Yeah.
That's the things they do. These tiny little things, Joe Public will be reading, oh, he's driving an X5. You know, 50, 60 grand car. Where's he going to afford it from a council officer's wage? Is he taking backhanders?
Yeah.
You know, they don't know it's only worth a couple of grand.
They'll turn around and say, actually, no, we're just reporting facts, which it's technically correct. But by omitting certain information, they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
But then, so there's one question I was supposed to ask you before, which I just want to take a little bit backwards to. You know, when you're talking about the witnesses and stuff like that, because they clearly didn't have a leg to stand on with their case, and they were trying to, you know, basically smoke you guys out and say, let's call you bluff. But what was their like witness side of the case? There can't have been a witness side of the case for them.
This is it. It was just fabricated stuff. And it was like...
And you're a licensing officer going through the documents like, what the hell is this?
It was just a joke. And I was like, really? How can you actually think of printing something? But that highlighted to me that everything printed stuff, you know, is just made up. You know?
It's definitely
as long as it tells a story.
Yeah.
Because I think at court it come out, I think there was nearly 250,000, 250,000 views online.
And that's a lot of ad views for the advertisements that run alongside and leads into the other
but they didn't know
articles.
how many people had shared it.
Yeah.
Because it was being shared on social media. I'd come off everything.
Well, yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah.
Because when I reactivate it, and a lot of people know, well, you defriended me. I said I didn't defriend you. I said it was just, I had to come off.
Yeah.
You know.
But
because you get trolls.
Well, yeah. But then, so we've gone through your entire story of how that happened and the outcome. So we got to the point where you've got the money. So like, I'm not going to ask you how did you spend your money because that's your business. But
holiday to Bali was the first thing.
I'm telling you. Get out of England. But I just want to know, like, because there was some things that we spoke about before the podcast about, you've managed to establish some other, revenue paths for yourself. You've kind of almost, well, could say you're an entrepreneur, kind of, yeah,
Kind
maybe,
of, kind
kind
of,
of,
kind
yeah.
of, kind
So
of.
just so tell us about at that point. So not what you spent your cash, but just like what's changed in your life from that point. What have you done?
Yeah, so obviously, COVID come, and I was on working contract, and that was coming to an end. Lancashire, as a council here in Lancashire, but as it was coming to the end, my manager at the time, God bless her, she passed away, put an idea into my head about screens in taxis because COVID was just coming in.
Yeah, I remember you did. Yeah.
So she said, "Oh, just do some research." So I stopped doing research, looked into it, and then my contract come to an end. So I thought, money's there.
Yeah.
I've not done business as such. I had a security company which just runs itself, but it was a small key at that time. So I thought, right, COVID's here, money's there, an idea here. And I sat down with my missus. I said, what do you think? I said, I'm good with the mouth, I can sell you everything, and I'll do the customer service, but I need practical. And because my missus, she's a beauty, she's does nails and everything. She's very practical,
So hands on.
hands on, and she's clued on. So I said, do you think you could do it? I said, we could work as a team. Yeah, she goes, yeah, go for it. Let's try it small first.
So just clarify. Obviously, I know what the product is, and not you actually, but just to clarify, the product was. So at the time, bear in mind, you had to isolate, wear masks, all sorts. So people trying to still get into cabs, and you developed a.
Yeah, screens, it's going inside taxis. So say, for example, this jalebi box. Yeah. Is a taxi. So that's the front, that's inside the car. So it's putting in between, behind the back seat, front seats. So
Back
the
cab,
back
basically.
seat, yeah. So it's the passenger at the back and the driver. There's a screen there. There's a little hatch so you can take payment. So there's no
Contact, yeah.
contact as such. So
That took off quite well, didn't it?
yeah, we done some like a cheaper version first, and we went to Peterborough do an operators. So we went there and done it, smashed it out in the day. Because when the stock arrived, I was like, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah.
Mrs. goes, don't worry. You just hold it where I tell you to hold it and I'll fix it. And she done it like that. So we went to Peterborough, done it, come back. Then I'm like, this is worth it.
Yeah.
So like, bit more research, suppliers, but wanted the more rigid ones. These were just flexible. So I found a couple of suppliers in UK, and then
You got like the thicker perspex.
perspex screens. Rung them day after. Price was too dear. Because I thought, we're dealing with taxi drivers here.
Yeah.
They're all out partying with money. So then I found a supplier in Holland. So spoke to them. So right, give me 100. Yeah, I'm just going to see how they are. If I could sell them. They sent them over, but the biggest mistake they done was they left the where it was being made sticker on.
Oh no.
No, on the packaging. So when they arrived, and I knew where they were being made, they were coming from Bulgaria.
Okay.
Oh, they were the middlemen,
Got you.
taking the orders, sending the order. It's coming from Bulgaria. So I thought,
We can get this even cheaper.
this is even cheaper. And my niece, big brother's daughter, she was out in Bulgaria studying, and she was stuck during COVID. So I made the call. I said, you can speak Bulgarian. She goes, yeah. I said, right. I said, this supplier, can you make contact with them and arrange a meeting? And obviously I want to buy the products off them direct, cut the middleman out. So she made a call and she rang me back. She goes, you don't need me. They can speak English. I said, even better.
Okay.
So I said, right, okay, cheers. I said, so I sent him an email. I said, want to buy off you direct. Can we do I think it was Zoom then. Zoom was the thing. So I said, Zoom meeting. So I had an online meeting with him. I said, right, okay, I've set up this. I want to buy this product from you direct, but in big quantity.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I want a good price. So obviously, I give him what I wanted at that time. 1,000 I took off him.
Wow.
It was a 5-figure sum, over 30 grand. So it's like, shall I press send? Or, sending money to Bulgaria. Is it real?
Yeah.
Will I see the product? And I thought, let's do it.
Yeah.
Red Gulmar, press send. Yeah, then they rung me, yeah, we've got the money, right, we're preparing it, and we're going to send it via DHL.
So that's going by the truckload, isn't it?
Yep. And then the boss who put the idea into my head, because I'd started doing advertisements on social media that we're doing it, she rung, well, we want to make Blackburn. Yeah. She goes, this is how many vehicles you got. I thought, wow.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, that's good.
So I said, all right. She goes, oh, do us a quotation and we have to put it to the bosses and hopefully get it because there's obviously nobody else.
And at that time, just to set context again, because I know a few years can seem like an age, especially to some of the younger viewers and listeners, but this was like peak COVID. Don't even like sneeze like within 10 meters of someone or whatever. So you needed this product at that time, didn't you?
Yeah, and obviously to make for the taxi drivers it was a big thing, so they can go out and earn a living. So then I sent the quotation to Blackburn. Within a day, she come back. Yeah, I was like, wow, this is big. I thought, right. Said to Mrs. This is not a two-person job now. This is where we need to take people on.
Yeah.
So I put the order in, but I said to them, pay 50% up front.
Yeah.
And 50% once we've done it. So I put the big order in to Bulgaria, and they're like, this is big for us.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, right, I want it quick. Put my businessman, right, I want it quick, I want it here. So they said, we'll produce and we'll send it in batches of 500.
Yeah.
So at least that way we'll carry on doing it. So I said, right, okay. I said, we need staff, So I said, who's best people we can trust? That was family, nieces and nephews, right, come on.
Out you go.
You're not studying because unis are shut, you're working. And like other friends we got on board as well who'd been laid off on family support. So I said, right, come on, make some money. You got family support, rather than just sit and watch Netflix during COVID. Come and make some money.
Make some money, yeah, good.
So we had nearly, at that time, I think it was 30, 40 people working.
Solid.
We'd done the Blackburn contract and it was starting 9 o'clock till 6 o'clock, churning away. We had 6 lanes, just banging screens on. I was just being a slave driver. You're staying here. Even breaks, I was bringing the food to him. I said, I don't want no one leaving site. You're here, because I thought if they go away for lunch, they'll come back when they want.
Yeah.
So this way, you stay here. I'm bringing the food here. I'm feeding you.
Especially if some of my family, then it's like, listen, put your phone away.
Well, this is it. And I was just like sat back. Mrs. got everything organised. Going around helping, making sure everyone's doing it right. And mashallah, it worked,
Good.
So
it was a good little venture for
it and it paid off, and that was that.
Yeah.
We've done a few other contracts as well, and
sorry, I'm not being rude. I'm getting the list of things we were going to talk about.
I thought you were looking at time there.
No. Because so we had that, and then we also had, So then on the back of that, because obviously COVID, then it's peaked, and so then that business is kind of still
gone.
Yeah, but you did what you had to do and you made your money.
Well, that's it. Yeah, there was a demand, for it. So I thought, let's go for it. Got the money there, so made some extra on top.
So then on the back of that, then that's finished, and then you've gone back into your licensing job, so kind of data. So that's like yours. You're a subject matter expert for it, basically. That's your thing. But then you've also got the security business that you put more focus back on that, didn't you?
Yeah, because obviously I set it up, but then I passed it over to my sons.
Mm-hmm.
It's their future. So it's obviously, I've nurtured them and they've took it on and got contracts, took it to the next level as well. So it's like guided them. Because when I set it up, last year I set it with Turbo back in the days. And then he passed away, and I was thinking about it because he just passed away just after COVID, and I was like,
the motivation just
because he was like the role model. Him was the main person. Turbo, I know we've got Dilla, but Turbo was the main role model for me.
To be honest, even throughout, Nelson, he was always known as, security, doors. He had a big reputation.
Yeah, and obviously we would have that chat that we need to set up our own. So obviously I'd set up, I'm good with paperwork and everything. And he's like, we've got a lot of contacts we can utilise. So obviously that's there now when the kids are running it. I do help them out when they want the help. And obviously because having a full-time job and
I think so. Do you feel like, because initially when you would have done the screens and then you went back to licensing knowing that COVID's over, did you not feel like, actually I'm getting a bit bored now? Or was it a case of, I'm at a certain age, I'm not mentioning your age, but I'm at a certain age.
Worked out, yeah.
I think, I think it is time to just chill a little bit, just get my 9 to 5 in family time now. Or have you got more things in the works?
Yeah. I did think I could retire early, but then I thought, no, what am I going to do?
You're going to get bored, man.
That's it. Even like when I'm taking time off work for a week, I get bored. I need to do something. At the moment, because I've always got something on. I went into properties a little bit.
Okay.
I've done that for 12 years.
Oh yeah, because I remember. So
under the hammer.
So I'll let you talk about the property stuff then.
Yeah, I've done that because I always used to watch Homes Under the Hammer, and then I went to an auction in Manchester in 2015 or 2014. 2014, yeah. And I was walking out and got approached by somebody. Oh, we're filming for Homes Under the Hammer. Would you be interested? Absolutely.
Yeah, go on. I'm a fan of the show.
I watch every day, So, done that, and I remember Dion Dublin come to Nelson. Just behind the house where I bought it, was just behind. It used to be Walter Nine. It's called Pendleville now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it was behind there, and Dion Dublin turning up in a Nelson Street. Everyone's coming out. Coming out with selfie.
Yeah.
So that was claim to fame there. Because I had Abid with me.
Legend.
Yeah, he stepped in. He wasn't the real partner. The real partner was Bash. He was abroad. So I said, I'll jump in. I said, Arja.
Yeah, good thinking, though.
Yeah, but his words were just annoying me. Lick a paint. I'm nudging him. The camera's rolling. I'm nudging him to stop saying that word, lick a paint. So I've done properties, and then I've got a project on at the moment. Me and Mrs. were doing. We bought what used to be the old rice bowl on Leeds Road.
Yeah.
Converting that to a beauty salon because Mrs. does manicures and pedicures as well. So she's clued up on that. So now it's going to be a purpose-built beauty salon.
Oh, nice. So I think
headache.
I suppose it makes sense, because if that's her passion, rather than her renting off someone else.
Well, she was doing it from home, but now she's got everybody. Her sister does, her mates, everything. They all do their own thing, like hairdressing, I'm not sounding girlish. I know everything now. Facials, semi-permanent, and everything.
Right.
So it's all gonna be in one place then.
You know what? You know what's good about that? I'm going to be incredibly misogynistic, and this is not a nice thing to say, but it's the truth. They can just sit there and yap all day because they're all mates, aren't they?
Well, that's it.
And then they've all got their little specialisms. It's like, yeah, it's just a day out for you lot.
Well, that's it. And it was something, because when I bought the building, because we've grown up 2 doors away, and Mr. Sharma, who ran that rice bowl for 30 odd years, had come into retirement, so he said, if you want to buy it, I said, yeah.
What?
But then I was like, he said, what are you going to do with it?
Ah, yeah, yeah.
First, my plan was to open a cafe. I always wanted my own cafe. And I said to Mrs., you can work there. She goes, no, I'm not. And then Mum said, look, I'm not having a takeaway next to my house because I'm going to attract rats. And then Mrs. come up with, right, beauty salon.
Yeah.
I said, good job.
So you're thinking next year, some point, summer, maybe? It'll take time, won't it?
We'll be there, I think, springtime.
Okay.
It needed a lot of work doing. A lot of work.
Yeah, so it kind of been kept at the way it was for a long time, hadn't it? So
Yeah, so obviously a lot of internal works going on. Just went back to brick, so then it's split into rooms and everything. Just the outside bits, like it's just tiling bit. So we should be there by springtime, full on.
Be good.
Um,
See, normally I'd say I look forward to it, but I suspect I'm not the desired clientele. But
excuse me, but I do get my manicures, obviously. Get my cuticles cool. Yeah, so I think we are looking of into that market,
very good.
the male market,
Nice.
because I know back our elders never bothered about nails or anything, and but the market's there.
If the market's there, then why not?
So
You got to take the risks. But I think as we're reaching mashallah, awesome. We've hit like nearly an hour and 10, which is good.
all right,
Did you realize how much time had passed?
no,
Exactly. That's how a podcast should be. Genuine conversation. But anyway, one thing I want to do though, and I always ask this for everybody that comes on, is because a lot of the time people will kind of tune in and there's something to be taken away from the guest. I mean, a lot of what you talked about is just about persevering, not being afraid to just take on the big guy, basically. But is there anything that you want to personally say? Because there'll be friends of yours that'll be watching this as well, and even the community in general, because you're well known in the community. Anything you want to say to them in general or directly? Put you on the spot there, didn't I?
spot there, isn't it?
Well, it's just like it could be just like a life, ethos, like a philosophy, just a case of
I mean, I always tell everyone, like, on the security side, because we do get a lot of youth working. So it's like, keep your head down, respect your parents, get the du'as from them, listen to your elders. Because at the end of the day, they've been through it.
Yeah.
They'll give you wise words, and because I always say, look, I started at the bottom. Because when I first started licensing, it was licensing admin, rock bottom. I was like, when am I going to get to senior stage?
Yeah.
I thought, stay at it. Like, even on, say, a security side, just working for somebody. And I thought, I can do better. And I could turbo put that emphasis, we can do it. Because you've got the brains, I've got the muscle. And I said, yeah, let's go,
Yeah.
And just like having good friends around you. Because I always tell my kids as well that don't have too many friends. There's friends you'll know who will stay with you throughout your life. Yeah, and some will come and go.
Yeah.
But you'll know who your real friends are in times of need. And that's what I experienced.
You learned the hard way, didn't you?
Yeah. And just life, it's just people, you see the youth of today who have no respect left for elders, and a lot of the youth I work with, and I make, I try and nurture them,
Yeah.
guide them. And I've got like mates on the security side, like, geez, I haven't run here. We're all the elder statesmen. We get called uncle.
I was about to say, when they call you uncle, like, I mean,
When it first happened, I was like, don't you dare call me uncle.
yeah.
You'll be the same age as my dad. All right then.
Yeah, that.
But don't say on the radio, uncle.
It'd be like, uncle, there's a code red. It's like,
Yeah.
first off, don't call me uncle.
Uncle. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, we're there to guide the youth of today. And within Nelson, we do have a lot of people that are there guiding and, the youth. And one of your guests you've had previously, who have a lot of respect for Gotti Farg. What a legend.
Yeah.
What a legend.
He's going to be back on soon. Hopefully do a couple of series with him on specialist topics. But yeah, I just want to obviously, again, just say thank you for coming on and be willing to talk about it, because you went through hell and back. And it's one of those, it is quite, it just touched on some sensitive areas. And I do appreciate you taking the time to come and talk about it, I guess.
Thank you for the invitation. It has been asking me for a couple of years.
Oh yeah, what a mission it was. I remember it was the first time it was like, I'm in Pakistan.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. And then the second time it was like, what was it? Was it a wedding or was it a party?
Wedding or something, yeah. Busy.
I was like,
We'll get there.
Camera shy or something. But then I don't know. I was like, look, new studio, new setup, get here.
Yeah. That's why I bought him this jalebi.
And I'm very appreciative. I'm looking forward to tucking into these. We were going to tuck into them on the camera, but we thought, you know what, we just sat there. It's like,
it's not professional.
But yeah, and I also want to say, thank you to the viewers for tuning in and listening, and I hope you benefit from from Waj. And also, you can plug your security company name and stuff here now, and contact and stuff. So Night Sec Security.
Nice. Yeah, it's run by my son now. The salon's going to be called Secret. I think the wife owes me 20 quid for that.
So yeah, on that note, over and out, everybody.
Love is.